For the final time in the tournament, we greet you back live into the action. This time it's going to be Overpass and 1-1 the scoreline. HellRaisers probably reeling after that performance on Mirage. 16-8, they lost it, and it could have been a whole lot worse in fairness. They had a couple of crazy eco round wins, which made no sense. We had config jump M4ing people from the other side of the map.
Yeah.
It all kicked off, but now it's all on Overpass. It all comes down to this: $30,000 to the winner, $15,000 to the runner-up, and of course bragging rights and all that good stuff as well.
Exactly, and well, it's going to be interesting one. Obviously, I think we both agree Dignitas should be the favorite side here on Overpass, but if we go all the way back, rewind time to January and Leipzig, they actually play one another there, 16-14 for Dignitas, so a very close encounter. See if that has to do anything with what we're going to be seeing here up next on the same map, but well, it's going to be a tough one.
It's going to be difficult for HellRaisers, there's no doubting it. But again, I think that they have a glimmer of hope. It's not big, it's a small gap in the armor of Dignitas. But if they can just poke in there enough, and if they can try and weaken Dignitas, and if a couple of Dignitas members don't step up, if Kirby goes back to being quiet again, they may have a chance. But he did a very good job on Mirage, and we'll be looking to rinse and repeat here on Overpass. The fact that Oscar doesn't have his headphones on suggests that we might be a little while longer before getting into the game.
And I can see there's a couple of players even missing from their seats.
Great banter, it really is.
That could also be there. Probably not ready yet for this battle. Well, a little mark we might put out there in the world is obviously both these teams have played this map previously or recently against one of our desk mates, Pimp, against Pimp and his team. But both teams lost against SK on Overpass, so he would be probably a perfect man to tell what to do against HellRaisers and Dignitas to beat him, but obviously he's not available right now for that interaction.
He is sat like 2 meters away from us, but be a bit strange to just dive in right now, as I think we are hopefully getting towards the game. So,
but it was good to see Kirby really coming back into it. I mean, obviously he had a really horrible first map compared to the his standards that he set for himself throughout this tournament. So having him play as well as he did is obviously a great sign of things for Dignitas. He was massive in all the mid pushes that Dignitas had to throw at HellRaisers, and they were really unable to find the answers to that.
Man on your screen there. Well, 2 men on your screen, Stiko and Oscar. Stiko's to the left, Oscar to the right. There's Kirby.
And there's also LMBT, the coach for HellRaisers. He's very hands-on. Like I said on the desk, he seems to be actively a part of the tactical decisions they make. Just reminding everyone of all the smokes and molotovs, the flashes he wants to see as they're executing. Just reminding everyone can be very fruitful because of the, people often tunnel vision in the high-pressure situations. So it's good to have someone make sure that they remember all the small details.
Could be the reason for our pause. Zero.
Hello, welcome to the stage. You have a game. No one's told you. Bondic also, an angel.
Ah.
Oh, no worries, boys. I mean, we're ready, but you're obviously not. I hope everyone's going to be seated now and we are ready to go into Overpass. Let's see which side is going to be on which team. Not sure how much that matters here. Really, Overpass is it's slightly CT-sided, but there's a lot of tricks you can definitely pull off when you're on a T side.
Oh, absolutely. Connector is so vital for the Ts as well, for fast wraparounds, for fast rotations. If the CTs can get a player or two in there, can definitely lock down and make it quite claustrophobic for the terrorists. I'm curious as well to see if HellRaisers do execute a lot onto B fast. It's a strat that they do like to run with. And especially if Stiko, for example, is playing well, then I think it's something that we may see them opt for a few times. There's Bondic.
We see a lot of teams spend a lot of grenades just to be sure they take control of that B short and connector area, because it is such an important part of the map to be able to do attacks on, let's say if you want to do late game B fake. Obviously when you have that part of the map, it's going to be a lot of intel that C's won't have. You can throw the smokes off from there and then go through connector to the A bomb site. So that is something I've seen. Notice a trend with a lot of teams is trying to get control of that part of the map, because of the fact basically that it enables you to do so many things.
Also, props to everyone in the crowd that stayed with us throughout this matchup. It's getting a bit late here in France now. I think it's about 10 o'clock.
Yep.
or thereabouts. I think it's a holiday here, right, in France?
I believe so, yeah. Not really sure what it's for, but holiday is a holiday.
Yep, so a long weekend. It feels a bit strange, though, to be doing a finals on a Monday. Not that there's any problem with it, but normally you're done and dusted by now, as we will be very shortly. Oscar looking deep in thought. Now, there's a couple of positions where I'm expecting to see him run on the CT side. He does like to peek up long a lot, but he's also very aggressive if needs be, if he has the spawn for it, to go either in connector or to actually go up on balloons and have a peer down through fountain. So again, it's one of those kind of situations where he's so unpredictable and he's so aggressive sometimes with his movements that Dignitas can't take anything for granted. And MSL, I'm not entirely sure if he can stand and go with Oscar on a map like Overpass.
Yeah, not head to head, definitely not. Just how it is. I don't think there's any argument to be had against that. It is all Oscar if you want to compare those two players as oppers, but yeah, still obviously it is not that clear cut when it comes to opping. And Oscar actually had one of his more quieter maps there, Mirage.
True.
Obviously, Dust 2 was pretty good on that one, but Mirage definitely was not the kind of a show we were expecting.
Just curious, do we have the stats for the previous map? Oh, never mind. It looks like we are finally going to get into Overpass. Because you did bring up a point now. I was like, hold on a second, did Oscar maybe get more deaths than kills? It's like
possible with that scoreline, but it seems HellRaisers are starting on the CT side. So let's see how that pans out. Let's look at the buy from Dignitas, though. It is MSL with a set of nades, everyone else with the Glock. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be the third deciding map of the whole tournament here between HellRaisers and Dignitas. And Dignitas right now going for that fountain control. Steak already here, connector stairs. He has been very good with the USB previously. Is he going to be able to get anything out of this? Not so far. He's struggling, and it's going to go down by Rubino. Oscar trying to pick up the pieces, but it is going to be Dignitas just plowing towards this A site.
And Zero was on the site by himself. He decides to back away into bank and wait for the rest of his team to arrive. Actually goes for the peak. Loses nearly half of his health in the process. Bomb planted from Dignitas. Very aggressive, confident plays.
It's going to be tough, by the way, because they have none flanking from connector. Everyone coming through CT spawn.
It's a very good point. So a one-dimensional retake and the strength in numbers kind of mentality. And Angel lands the first onto config. Tensky's pretty low. MSL in the meanwhile, the bomb is being defused in the smoke. 2 seconds. Oh, Zero's gone down. So close to getting the defuse, but the terrorists just about hold on. Dignitas, it was looking a bit sloppy for a few seconds, but they've got it. And that's a big, big round.
Straight up play from Dignitas, just plowing towards the fountain. And then once they got the first pick, they go on all the way to the bomb site with 4 left. Plant the bomb, and I think the problem really with HellRaisers' retake was the fact that they had no one flanking. It was very one-dimensional retake. Now, as we can see on your screen, HellRaisers out up to 2 force buy. They have upgraded all pistols. Everyone has an armor. Even Oscar is not saving for a AWP. Bonding is going to open things up. That's going to be the first one, but Config with the trade kill. Caribou now getting one, but gets dinked in the process as well. It's going to be trade kills going left and right now. Bonding is going to go, no, Angels rather. It's going to go down. So the numbers do favor Dignitas at this moment in time, but Caribou is still super low in HP.
Oh, pushing through the smoke just as Bondic jumps on top of the railing, so his aim was a little bit off. Stiko in the other side of the map, coming through bathroom with his deagle, hoping that maybe they're wrapping themselves through connector back onto A. You have the benefit of knowing that isn't going to happen. Rubino instead going to get the bomb planted behind the sandbags. And now Stiko is going to be snaking his way towards short. I think if he gets a one-tap in the next few moments, he may try and get this retake. If not, probably just going to set up for the exit frag and try and take an AK out of this round.
I think that's the best he can hope for right now. He is going to be here and be short and just trying to find at least one of the remaining Dignitas players, but he's not really getting anything out of this, as 2 have already crossed through Monster towards the T-spawn. Stiko doesn't even have his eyes on the right way. Well, he does get a MAC-10. A Mac Daddy, I like to call it. And that's all he's going to be getting out of this.
Mac 10, though, could put some bullets to faces. It could leave some bruises and cuts if Dignitas aren't too careful. But again, it's an expendable weapon, not one that I'll be too bothered about losing. They still have a Mac 10 in play as well, Dignitas, coming through into this round, and AKs to bolster the aggression. In fact, they've just gone ahead and replenished a second MAC-10, knowing that the rest of HellRaisers would be on by and large nothing. Aggressive plays from Dignitas. Here comes a boost. Meanwhile, on short, it's going to see a triple boost. Going to be peering over. It's actually on Graffiti, pardon me. Oh, Config wrecking MSL. Actually ran in front of him. MSL could end up dying as a result. Nope, with the MAC-10. He's there, large and in charge. Meanwhile, Stico from behind with the 1 kill, but pretty much going as predicted with Dignitas on a 3-0 lead. And on T side of Overpass, this is a solid start.
Definitely Oscar right now, playing with the idea of getting a shot with the Deagle. There is a very low HP MSL on that bomb site, but Oscar not getting any of that. He has to fall back. He's trying to create an opening with the exit frags, but I don't think he's getting an opportunity. Dignitas are taking a smart route right now towards that T-spawn.
So HellRaisers, you've managed to keep a Deagle going through to 2 rounds, but next up is going to be the assault rifles. Potentially an AWP as well, if Oscar's desperate for it. May end up being glass cannon though. I mean, quick look at his economy. He's got 4.6k, so he actually doesn't even have enough for an AWP.
I think Stico had 5.7, so he might be able
drop
to
across.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yep.
He did that on Dust 2 a couple of times as well. We'll just have to wait and see. You'd feel on CT side, Oscar needs the AWP, right?
Yeah, they should. The impact they can have is just so massive, and exactly what is going to be happening. Obviously, a lack of utility is going to be quite big. But HellRaisers taking the aggressive approach here. There's 2 of them in connector right now, and Oscar also near toilets, getting blinded a little bit there. As Dignitas taking over the fountain area of the map, but Stico's going to be the one to open things up. Tensky goes down by Oscar. That's going to be a quick 5-on-3 advantage going the way of HellRaisers. Now Dignitas, rest of them are just plowing through long.
Flashes being exchanged, a couple of which have landed right in the face of Dignitas. The FAMAS not able to transfer onto the second kill. Config murders Angel and pushes onto the site with Kirby. They have the bomb in the hands of Config. That grenade could do quite a bit of damage, actually lands in the face of Stico. And Dignitas looking to push through, bank in the hands of Kirby. He's going to be walking right into 0 and right into death on top of it. The boost is up. Config going to be trying to snake his way. Oh, could be the great escape. He could actually get onto the B site and get this bomb planted. Oh, this is next level mind games if he gets this clutch. Man, I kind of wanted him to get the clutch because that would have been sexy Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that was a nice shot from Config and Kirby. I thought when they brought it down to a 2-on-3, they should have just neutralized the situation and stopped pushing, just get the bomb down and create an after-plan situation. But instead, Kirby decides to push back and get smoked down, and then you saw the ninja moves from Config almost paying off. But it is going to be HellRaisers picking up that first one, but it has to be pointed out too, Dignitas so far, both on Mirage and here on Overpass too, often to go for a lot of fast plays.
Here's that boost again that we saw previously over Graffiti. I think eyes on short. The thing is though, this does take a lot of the firepower and stack it in one position. So if this boost keeps coming in, I wouldn't be too surprised if Dignitas adapt and start to play aggressive on A, knowing that 3 players are stuck on the B side at least.
Well, right now they have established long control, they have that information. They also have one around the toilets. Still, bomb is all the way down in connector, so that might indicate a possibility of a B push eventually. No, actually they're creeping their way back. And now it's going to be Stico here in a bit of a tricky position. I hope he has some mates there, a buddy system enabled. Not really, to be honest. Well, Oscar is here, so there is a bit of a help coming in for him before Oscar just decides to fall back. MSL's going to go down, though. Good job, well done from Stico. It's going to be able to fall back, too, but the bomb is making its way towards this B-bomb site.
Rubino taking point. He wanted to try and get an entry frag. Meanwhile, Config has added to the tally of dead HellRaisers members. Bondic and Angel, though, bouncing back with kills of their own. Leave Tensky with the arduous task of, with 23 seconds, trying to get something done with Config. Config doing what he can to take down one player. Nearly a second. Here comes Tensky. 1 kill in a second. Headshot onto Oscar. Massive plays. Breaks HellRaisers once again. And what a round, what a clutch that could end up being. Big plays from the Dane.
Well, that's a great payback for what happened to Dust 2 all the way back in map number 1. He had a bit of a moment where it may have cost him a really crucial round, and now he wins a massive 1-on-2, and that's going to be breaking the economy of HellRaisers, who won the previous round and then losing the one after that we often refer to as the nightmare of Counter-Strike. What it means is that your economy gets reset, and you are potentially at double eco territory. Or a weak buy after one. MSL's going to open things up on Oscar. And Burbino continues. No, actually it's going to be Kierbu to get that kill. And that's going to be all of A defense done and dealt with.
I think this is one of the reasons why Pimp was so adamant that Dignitas would cruise through on Overpass. They're looking so solid on these T sides, and of course DT-sided map as well. Itensky just land that shot through the wall. I think he may have. Bondic just got completely demolished. And Dignitas, as expected, a comfortable round. Here comes another potential buy, albeit with Bondic on 3K.
Well, I already saw an AWP bot, so they definitely are investing into this. Again, they are putting a lot of emphasis on the fact that Oscar needs to be huge. Because, well, they do have 2 FAMASs and 2 M4s, but very limited equipment. No defuse kits, so if it becomes an afterplant, it's going to be a lot of pressure on HellRaisers once again. And seemingly a bit of a different approach from them. They have sent Stuko on a mission here very aggressively. Pop flash comes in from the T's. It's going to be Oscar to open things up on config, but I think Kierbu already knows the fact that Stuko is going to be up close. But Kierbu decides to fall back. I think that might be the smart move, considering that there's Oscar with the sights towards the end of that lung.
Good start though from HellRaisers, a much needed round potentially falling their way. Stacking up on B is Bondic. Has his tag team partner of Zero, but he's going to go down, and you can see Bondic was desperately trying to wrap himself into that second kill, hoping that he landed the first one, but a bit too short and a bit too quickly. Bomb planted now. Oscar with the AWP, AK and FAMAS. Angel trying to get himself a bit of information, but spots nothing as the smoke has already bloomed and Stiko's gone down. So what started so well for HellRaisers with the first kill has gone horribly rotten. Dignitas will take a 6-1 lead.
Just a contact play there from Dignitas. Getting through short, the perfect timing. Got the kill on the guy who was close to Monster, and then also on, I think it was Zero on the site. And that was pretty much the whole defense of HellRaisers being destroyed on that B-bomb side, and they lead up to a 6-1 lead right now. Kierbu also taking care of Oscar. It's going to be a massive kill. That's the AWP out of play. And Angel going down 2. It's going to mean another save round here for HellRaisers. It's just inbound.
Dignitas had the opportunity to pick up the AWP there, but decided not to go for it. Makes a lot of sense. They don't need one. They're just as happy with the AKs.
As happy as these people here. Because they were happy. I'm just saying.
That was intense levels of happiness. I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't know if I should be scared or not.
Well, we should. Oh, Stiko with the Deagle. Upgraded pistols are the name of the game of HellRaisers right now, and the name of the game also is going to be a fast push towards the B-bomb side. And it's going to be HellRaisers going down like flies. Only 2 left. It's going to be Stiko and Oscar here in connector. Tensky, well, he was in prime position for a little bit of fun as well, but decided to fall back smartly enough, I guess. Oscar is going to try to take a duel, but Rubino says, no, you're not. Going to get the kill. Stiko does get a kill. I don't think he's going to get much more because he has no armor, and that's just the AK-47. The economy is not pretty for them, so he should just try and survive the rest of this round.
The problem is that it's all well and good saving weapons and getting buys, but with Dignitas already on 7 rounds, at some point you've got to start converting these into rounds. You just simply have to do something. Kirby from behind, he's not even going to get the weapon through into round number 9. And it's simply not good enough anymore to be saving weapons. It's simply not good enough to be taking a couple away from Dignitas.
Well, that's true, though. They were in a safe situation. Their economy is kind of edgy right now, but they had to get that up on Oscar, meaning that he's not going to have anything else except for an armor and an AWP. But knowing the possibility of impact he can have on a round, it all makes sense. Again, they're going to be HellRaisers pushing this connector area of the map. It's Oscar and Stuko here. Meanwhile, Dignitas once again very aggressively taking over Fountain. Going towards his toilet. Oscar, though, he's going to open things up. That's the bomb going down. Config with it. Oscar gets blinded, has to fall back. It's going to be MSL coming in. Stuko with the answering kill, but I think that's all she wrote for him. And Skierbu is there to collect the one on Justico.
Collects the debt. But he is actually going to go down to the hands of Bondic. So HellRaisers just about clawing on. Again, though, it's important if they do win this round to keep it going forward. Rubino headshotting down Zero. Still a lot of time to play with that. Flashbang's gonna land in the face, although Angel quickly turns his back on it. To his left-hand side, Rubino just starts away in time. Molotov are there as well. The downside is that for all the toing and throwing, Rubino still doesn't have his hands on the bomb, which is in the water to the other side of this wall.
That is definitely the issue right now. With two remaining, Bondic and Angel are separated from one another, and another smoke comes in. So that's just gonna make matters worse for Rubino. Was just gonna have to wait for the smoke to wear out, but then he should not have a possibility of winning a situation like this. There should not be a universe where that's possible.
I think what he's trying to do right now is play the mind games as if he's wrapped himself around the back of A. And there we go, just delaying the inevitable. But again, HellRaisers, yes, you've got yourself around. What do you do with this opportunity, though?
Yeah, again, problem is that the pressure, their economy is going to be massive. Only 2 surviving, meaning that they're going to be dropping to 2, and then not even the 5th. There's not going to have the best of bosses. We're going to see soon. It's going to be Stico with an MP9 of all things. Oscar does get an AWP. Obviously, they picked that one up after the round ended. Now we see Oscar. It's going to be here. Balloons decides to fall back as a flash comes in. Means there's going to be 3 of Dignitas players ready to attack from the fountain towards the pod area. Rubino playing with the idea of going through the smoke. There has a teammate as well, Zero, and a lot of pressure there around those barrels. The Molotov goes in, and Tensky's going to get the kill. Rubino and Tensky decide to fall back after getting that entry kill. Rubino all the way down to 23 HP as the spray goes through the smoke.
Especially backing away is originally, I think the play here was to fake it. Because the bomb was still in bathroom as that push came through Monster. Look at Stico's position, though. We can hear the footsteps. They're coming towards him. The MP9 at close range can be brutal to contend with, but not today, says Config, as he dispatches him with haste. Tensky and Rubino both tagged, but they have the player advantage. Lots of time to play with again. And a 2-2 split up formation for Dignitas. We're keeping their options open. They're spotting the players pushing through barrels. Maybe should have done better. Rubino goes down as well. And this now forces the hand of Dignitas to go on A, which, fortunately for them, is open. And look at that health here, Natu, of both of HellRaisers.
It ain't pretty, that's for sure. It's going to make things way worse for them. They only have 1 flash to work with 2. And MSL seems like he has a hunch on this flank. Config already taking care of Angel. That's going to be leaving just Bondic here in connector, and MSL has his side towards the connector too. Only before he actually does fall back and turns his back towards him. And that's going to be Bondic getting that kill, but I don't think he's going to have many opportunities, as that's going to be a grenade. A Kobe, I think they like to say, landing on his feet. And he's done.
Nicely done. So again, it comes back to that phrase, the nightmare is a reality. 8-2. Twice HellRaisers have won a round and then conceded straight afterwards, and you can see the effect that has on their weaponry. UMPs, or 1 UMP I should say, not plural, and the rest pistols. Got a few smokes, a few grenades, but that's about it. And this is going to force them into a bit of an unorthodox desperation play, stacking up in connector and B respectively, hoping that the force came in from Dignitas into the trap, but that's not going to happen. MSL playing this one smart, playing it steady, just watching for a connector push while the rest of his team executes onto the A site, which is where HellRaisers have started to rotate themselves into. The problem is they're lacking the firepower, and that's becoming ever so present and clear. The kill's coming down. Kirby with a tasty headshot onto Bondic, and the bomb will be planted. So this round, all but done.
Yeah, Stico, the last one remaining right now. Things just worse, obviously. He's going to try to get an exit kill. Try to claim a weapon. Oh, what a nice shot under Config as he's beat air, but is he going to get more? That's the question. He's not. Rubino taking care of Stico. And I think it's not going to be far off before we're going to be looking at double digits from Dignitas. It's going to be safe territory right now for HellRaisers. Their economy definitely not looking pretty. I don't think their faces are looking too happy either. But it's happier than a lot of the audience we saw earlier. Has to be said. Meanwhile, Dignitas, they're sitting pretty with their economy. They have plenty of money. They have a buffer right now.
One of the things we often say about Rubino is the adhesive for the team of Dignitas. Never really the top fragger. Well, this game, he's on 12 kills. He's doing a solid job for his team. Config with 2, padding those stats and an eco round. HellRaisers on the easier side of the two of them are struggling so badly. They are walking through dangerous waters. And Config with his 3rd. There will be double digits. And now HellRaisers' best case scenario is a 5-10 half, which simply put, not good enough against Dignitas.
I don't think it's good enough against any team, really, to be honest with you. You're supposed to get 9 to 10 rounds on that CT side, but obviously they're not getting anywhere near that. As you can see right now, Oscar going from an AWP to an auto shotgun. That is the other side of the spectrum, I would like to say, when it comes to weapons, but see how he makes it work.
As a result of him going for the heavy commitments into the AWPs, it's only a matter of time before he does fall back onto a lower tier weapon. Well, the XM at close range is very dangerous, as we've just seen, and now he can convert that across to the assault rifle if he can get his hands on it. That should be just above him on the stairs. The Dignitas have got the bomb planted. Kirby in amongst all of the action, the flurry, gets it down for his team. Config's going to be watching. He knows that Oscar was last seen in connector. He turns at what could have been the worst moment. Comes back in, gets dinked partially, I think, there through the door down to 65. And now it's up to Kirby to try and fend off the onslaught from these 2 players, which are coming in at him. But Config comes back around again just in the nick of time to help his teammate out, leaving Oscar and his 29 health. So just tuck his tail between his legs and run away to save the weapon.
And also a massive flash. I'm not sure if it was Config that threw it, but totally blinding the player. The CT that took his way 2 barrels was blinded right at the moment when the duel took place. And that's going to be another round, not even a round that actually favored Dignitas going their way. So things are just going from bad to worse right now for HellRaisers.
And Dignitas, they're on the brink of getting their first international LAN victory and the $30,000 that goes alongside with that.
And look at Oscar.
Oh, man.
The observer right now is pointing out he's sitting at 6-2-11. Something we don't see all too often, has to be said. He does have an AWP right now. And it's going to be a shotgun, or Max 7 rather, on Stiko. And then 2 FAMASs and an AK-47. So a bit of a quasi-buy for HellRaisers, but still quite a bit to work with. Considering the round difference right now, they definitely had to go for it.
In fairness to Oscar, he hasn't had that many AWPs though, and plus if your team's getting battered 11-2, from an AWPer's perspective, Overpass can actually be really punishing because there's a lot of close angles that you need to try and cover off, especially if the smokes are being put down into like the bank and the dumpster. So it can be a very punishing map, which is what we've seen so far, but Dignitas have just stepped it up a couple of levels. We know that they're a crazy strong Overpass team, but this is taking it into a different gear, and HellRaisers simply can't keep up.
No, they're missing from the map right now, totally. I mean, this Dignitas taking things very slowly, very methodically, trying to collect all the possible equipment off of HellRaisers' hand before they commit to a bomb site. As we can see, it's only 1 incendiary and 2 flashes left right now. I think a pop flash might be in order here. It's going to be Molotov coming in here. Stuko, he's in the right moment, right place, the right time right now to make it work. Only gonna have a chance for 1 kill. 2 more right in front of him, but it's gonna be Angel actually racking up the kills. Here goes down. Dignitas' attack is gonna be Config left. Stiko is gonna end things off with a nice headshot with the Max 7.
Yeah, well played in the end from HellRaisers, but again, they've left it too late.
Yep.
If this was coming up, 5, 6 rounds ago, then they were still in with a shot, still in with a hope of bringing this back, but best case scenario at 11-4, even if they win the pistol, there are so many boxes they have to tick. There's so many hurdles they have to navigate their way over before they can even get close towards equality. So this is a must-win round, plus the pistol and MSL punishes Angel at a good spawn. Unfortunate for Oscar, just legs on towards Kirby and doesn't even finish him off with the nade. The nade only did 15 damage. Kirby's on 2 health. Very fortunate to still be alive.
Oscar at the right time, in the right place. So is Stiko. Oh, it's only going to be 2 Dignitas members left right now. Kirby with 2 HP as well, has the bomb. And the two remaining players are very separated, so Rubino has to be the one to make a lot of work. Obviously, we have two of the HellRaisers players very low too. So well, obviously it's not going to happen, but if Rubino was able to get that kill on the bonding, things could have turned their tides in favor of Dignitas, but that's going to be all into Kirby with that 2 HP.
Just got to hope for a big misstep from HellRaisers, a miscalculation, a missed call.
Miss everything.
Pretty much. Missed bullets, quite literally, if he wants to do this. That's an interesting smoke. Screw that road in particular for no apparent reason. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. He's going to get the kill onto Stico, but the element of surprise was really the only thing that was keeping him in this round, and now it's been given away. Bomb's going to get planted if he throws the Molotov towards the dumpster. Well, there you go. Oscar had the same idea on top of the site.
Anticlimactic.
I think he may have known as well, judging from Kirby's position, that he was the player that got legged, which was hence the Molotov throw there rather than on long or maybe bathroom later on to draw out the defuse.
Yeah.
So that could be like next level calls from Oscar, but again, it just left it too late. Getting back-to-back rounds for the first time in the last 2 rounds of the half. It's a golf clap moment, really, but nothing more.
Yeah, as we can see from Angel, he's not happy, picking his nose for the sake of things.
Picking his nose in disgust. He's like, what is wrong with us?
Yes, four rounds on Dignitas Overpass. Obviously not enough. So this is definitely looking like it is Dignitas' time to take that title for the first time in an international tournament.
I mean, Natu, if they don't from this point, this is some next level choke.
I've actually been in a similar situation when on Inferno, losing to Taz and Neo and those guys in 2009 at WCG quarterfinal. We're up, I think, 11-4 after T-Side and Inferno lost it. And they went on to win the whole tournament.
I can tell that clearly haunts me to this day. Like, I can see it.
It's something we still talk about over a beer every now and again and think, what could have been?
But that just goes to show, like, how unlikely it is that Dignitas lose from this point.
Yeah, it is.
Because that's stuck in your mind for very negative reasons, because it should never, ever happen.
Exactly.
So, if they lose from here, then where do you even go?
Well, let's not talk about that. It's a pistol round right now. HellRaisers on the T side. They have their opportunities, but it is one heck of a mountain to climb. Rubino is going to be pushing Fountain right now. He spots one of the HellRaisers members, but in the meanwhile, pretty much the rest of them are just going to be going through connector. MSL also pushing up here. Trying to gain a lot of ground. Rubino and MSL are going to start and get things done here. The first 2 kills going away off Dignitas, but Angel, he has differing ideas about this round.
Angel with the Glock headshot. Bomb's been planted. Started so well for Dignitas. It could still end well with a player advantage, but that's been taken away from Bondic. And Angel lands the headshot as well. Here comes Oscar. This is so much better. Revitalize HellRaisers, maybe. Just what the doctor ordered. Some smiles finally on their faces.
Yeah, that was the last call for them, and they definitely picked up on that. Getting the pistol round. Now they have a vague opportunity of fighting their way into this match, but obviously still, like I said, it is a mountain, and they've only taken the first step.
Well, every big step starts with... Every big journey starts with a small step. Nice one. Nailed it. Nailed it.
Small step for a human.
It's been a long day.
Big step for the humanity.
Zero with a good little frag onto Rubino. Stico's going to be pushing in as the HE bounces off the wall. Dignitas to force into this round. And HellRaisers will be firm favorites to convert from this point. Bomb dropped out just for safety to make sure it doesn't go out in the middle of nowhere. MSL is going to land the deagle shot, though. He's not able to get towards that weapon. He's too scared in case another player's in connector. Which, of course, we have the benefit of knowing is not the case, but that's also an AK. So this is a big opening pick for Dignitas. And it surprises me somewhat that they send an AK all by themselves.
Right now, we see HellRaisers are one on long right now, and MSL is going to be in connector. I think there's like 2 of Dignitas players actually rotating their way towards the bomb site. Here comes the Molotov. That's probably going to be a key of what's going to be config with the deagle. Not going to get anything out of it. Stico with the opening kill, but MSL with the flag from A Sword, getting 2. Making it really competitive. Look at the HP on Stico as well. And Oscar, not that more healthy either, but Stico super low, but that's going to be the aim punch coming to fruition. Kermu though, but Stico in the end, He's going to save the day. How close was that? It wasn't supposed to be anything like that. But in the end, it is going to be HellRaisers holding on to it.
And that all comes off the back of MSL's fragging connector and picking up the AK.
Yep.
That's why you don't send an AK by itself in sticky positions like that, because it really can come back to bite you. But as it stands, HellRaisers will be up against an eco Dignitas, so they can wipe away the cobwebs. They can try and farm their way back up to decent standing with the bank. And Oscar opening up onto MSL. Here's the first step forward in round 18.
And that's HellRaisers taking over long right now. Most of Dignitas are actually in B. They've taken over connector. They're pushing up right now. Angel in prime position to maybe stop that push. If he spots any of those CTs, he spots one right now. Connects slightly, sees two more. In fact, just one. He's going to be running into another. Here we're getting that kill. Meanwhile, though, his teammates have already made their way towards that A-bomb side. Bondic in toilet. Rubino, though, he's going to get a kill. But they're making it costly at least. Bondic is just overcommitting into that smoke for whatever reason. He's going to get taken down, so there's an outside chance right now for Dignitas. Obviously, no kick in play for them, so they got to be fast about it.
Oh, that was a must-needed kill for Dignitas from Bank. Zero should have been punished.
What is going on?
There's so many parts of this round that don't really make a great deal of sense, and if something was slightly different, HellRaisers would have just conceded a round that should never ever be going the way of Dignitas. But as it stands, they have somehow barreled their way through back to 11-7. But here comes the first buy, and Rubino, as we saw in Dust 2, picking up the AWP for the CT side. Could be based off his spawn though, which is a very solid one for Fountain.
Not gonna find anything though, as it's gonna be HellRaisers taking over that B short area. Pretty much everyone from their team are very close to B. Config, however, is gonna be at the off angle next to Monster, but has to be really careful because the potential of pop flashes are always big. Well, he does decide to just fall back to the barrels and things slow down.
Here comes the boost. Stiko's going to be boosting up Angel so we can peer across towards the toxic barrels. There's the pesky CT on the site. They'll get picked off as well. Damage exchange, but Kirby from behind. As soon as the bullets were coming from the angle, they knew exactly what was happening. Great call from Dignitas. Get the 2 kills, back away. And now, suddenly, HellRaisers with it all to do.
That's the damage dealt. Only one smoke on Bondic. A Molotov on 0, 2 flashes, but that doesn't allow them to do whole too much. It's going to be all about brute force for them. They need to have Oscar come in with the AWP and get the kills. He is making his way right now towards Monster, but there are 3 Dignitas members on this bomb site. It's not going to be an easy task, and here comes a grenade, and here comes Config. He's going to get Oscar out of the map, leaving just pure Bondic and 0. Be in short, behind a smoke, waiting for their destiny.
Ooh, close for Bondic. Nearly lined up for him. Zero's now been spotted, and he's been killed from Kirby, who's gone from strength to strength. 3 kills that round for him, 2 for Config.
Kirby's round has to be said, obviously. Great timing with the push. There's a connector. He heard the fight going on. He probably heard the call about a boost. On short, it just comes to the door, gets those 2 kills. Makes it a 5-on-3 really quickly. And that's going to be Dignitas one closer towards championship point.
Very true. They are in touching distance now.
They can smell it.
They certainly can. HellRaisers were hoping for back-to-back EU minors. Dignitas have other plans. HellRaisers, they're almost full-on eco as well. Yeah. MSL getting charged down by 2 players. Able to actually relocate with the USP. Sidearm's good for 1 kill, but not a second. And that is now an M4 into the hands of Oscar. He's surrounded and will be found out from Kirby and found wanting. Another buy will be forthcoming, but HellRaisers simply put are running out of time.
Yeah, and their economy is still very limited coming into this round. I think that I saw a scout being bought, some Galils, and see what they have up their sleeve so far. It's not been all too much that we've seen from their T side. It's all being based off of their pistol round win that they have picked up to 7 rounds. Even the anti-ecos were super close from going to Dignitas. Now, they have a UMP, 2 Galils, an AK, and an AWP. Well, they do have a few smokes to work with, but not too much in terms of just having a complete execute, but it's going to be really fast play coming in. They've taken over the toilets, but it's going to be MSL in an awkward position. He gets one, make it two, and a lot of damage on a third one as well before it's going to be Oscar, the boys, getting the kills. What a round, just full-on brawl going on in the toilets.
I expected fireworks and it's delivered, but I'm surprised that MSL didn't get found out earlier than that.
Look at the HP on Stico and Angel, though. That's going to make it hard.
Channeling is in the George Michael. That's going to be lost on like 99% of people, but for the 1% of people that get it, you're welcome. Stico and Angel, very low on health. Pensky and Config, one of which has just been picked off. So HellRaisers, and staggering, but maybe going to get back to their feet now. Or potentially not. Config with two, and he does have a huge HP advantage, although Stico has the AWP frag potential. But look where that bomb is. All Config has to do is sit right here, turn into a turret. Stico has a flashbang though, so if he times this perfectly, he should be golden. 20 seconds and Config, oh, he was toying with the idea of peeking. 15 seconds, Stico has to start to make a move. He can't afford to wait too much longer, and Config's gonna be waiting for this one. He's still in the position, and Config's gonna get the clutch. Dignitas moved 2 rounds away. HellRaisers will be gutted. Was that a 3-on-2 that they just lost?
3-on-1 in the end.
Yeah,
Config against 3, but 2 of them were really low on HP. Got the kill on the Oscar, obviously, was the one with high HP. And then the patience in that one-on-one has to be said. Great work from Config there. Really just rising to the occasion when they really need him. And that's been his special force so far in this tournament. Here comes a spray down. Only gets 2 though, as Tigo manages to finally trade the kill. But it's not over yet. Tensky is going to be the man of the hour right now. Here comes the push from Stico. Is getting another one. It's a good one from HellRaisers. They get the bomb down too, so it becomes an afterplan.
An afterplan that is winnable for HellRaisers. 2 and 4s in play. Make that just the ones. Angel gets ripped apart from Kirby. HE flashes coming in, trying to take away as much vision as possible. MSL's the next player to step up and shut down players. Oscar spins around and lands the deagle. That was ridiculous. Not that it really matters, but wow. 15-7 now with the defuse. Dignitas, 8 championship points.
Yeah, and they are looking poised right now to take that championship too. Although HellRaisers managed to create a 3-on-3 afterplant on that B bomb side. The retake from Dignitas is proving to be too strong. We are very close from the climax of this tournament.
HellRaisers, it has to start right now. If you're going to make some crazy comeback, no more room for error. No more mistakes, no more misplays. From here on out, it has to be perfection, and Rubino gets the opening pick. Bondit goes down, MSL as well. Look at this charge from Dignitas. No surrender whatsoever in them. They'll be peering their way across, up through long, into playground. And to be fair, this map really has been their playground. They've been enjoying this. Zero and Oscar.
It's been like amusement park.
Really has. They've been riding HellRaisers pretty hard.
Wow. Okay, then.
All right, it's past Watershed in most places.
We've had the balls thrown in. Now we're riding it. All right.
Well, HellRaisers have too. The way this has been going.
All right then, mate.
So, Rubino, with his AWP, he actually got the first kill. I think he played very aggressively. Didn't quite catch it from his perspective, but up mid, got the kill, backed away. I don't see the way that HellRaisers have been playing, how they can possibly clutch from this position.
It is very unlikely, has to be said, but it is Oscar still alive. He has an AWP. If there's opportunity, it might be possible. That's going to be a shot missed from both parties. Rubino and Oscar playing with the idea of trying to do something right now. They got only 30 seconds on the clock, so they need to be on the move momentarily. I think that's going to be a bit of aggression shown there from MSL. He gets one. Now it's all up to Oscar. Does he get the opportunity to do anything with it? That's the question right now. They should take 9 out. Now the AWP gets one onto MSL. But, and also on the Tensky. Rubino, that's going to get flagged by Config, and that's going to be it. Dignitas do take it, and they're going to be your champions.
And you can see how much it means to them as well. First time international LAN winners. finally got that off their back, finally can say they've gone to an
Monkey
event
off the
and they've
back.
been victorious. Exactly that. They can see HellRaisers look disappointed, but all things considered, they secured their position at the offline qualifiers for the next major. They can hold their heads high. They did a solid job.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, considering they like they said themselves, they haven't got a lot of time to practice Bonding so far. So obviously shown still a lot of signs of weaknesses, and basically Dignitas were just the better team. They almost had an opportunity to win HellRaisers on Dust 2, a map that they haven't really played at all. So definitely the better team to, in the end, won.
Yeah, it could have easily been a 2-0 if Dust 2 went the other way. A very dominant performance from Mirage, ended up being the same on Overpass. So 2-1 in the end. And Dignitas walking past the trophy that they have just claimed for themselves. Congratulations.
Looks pretty.
Does indeed. Looks pretty big as well.
Well, it's going to be a happy Dignitas as they claim their trophy right now. It is a big trophy too. They are definitely on top of the world right now. Like we all said, this is their moment, and this could be really instrumental in terms of their mental blocks and psychological issues they've had as a team previously. Look at it all down here. Who has to be said probably the, well, it's not the MVP, one of the MVPs of this tournament, definitely.
Well, now they can say they've been to the national LAN and they came out victorious. They beat everybody. They went the distance. Well-deserved winners in the end. Welcome back, Pala.
Thank you very
Hello.
much. Big congratulations to Dignitas. I do think there was a moment in that last round where we were like, Oscar is going to do this. He was close. He got some pretty ridiculous flicks there, but then the Dignitas guys closed it out. Everyone bar Tensky actually in that match had a pretty good score, so I think the weight was relatively well spread. Pimp, initial feelings about that?
Kind of went as I expected, besides Dust 2. That was way closer than I expected. I expected HellRaisers to completely run over Dignitas and Dust 2, but that also like made a strong case for Dignitas going to roll over HellRaisers in the next two maps. They're playing really well, even putting up a fight against HellRaisers on Dust 2. No one should expect that, and no one probably had expected that, so it just showed how strong they were this game. Very convincingly, 2-1 win.
I think Config was one of the players that was very instrumental, especially in that last map. Metas, what do you think?
No, I completely agree. I think it was Config and Kirby that were leading the charge. Kirby didn't really show up on Dust 2. Fortunately for him, the rest of the team did. But Config was there, man. We always highlight when we talk about Dignitas, we talk about Rubino, but we're also talking about Config and Kirby for good reason. They had a great crossfires down as well, time and time again on Overpass. There's not much else to add, really. They just dominated.
Natu, what can you take away from this match with regards to both teams?
I mean, Dignitas definitely showed their, at least in comparison to one another, they are the more complete team right now. And I think what really was great to see was the depth of individual skill that they showed, obviously beyond Kierbu. Well, his first really big performance, you could say, in an international tournament like this, but also you got glimpse of Tensky chiming in. You saw Config, obviously, maybe not pulling in big numbers every single game, but had a lot of impact kills, had a lot of impact rounds, and also Rubino. We're gonna have him here. He also had his
Rubino
moments.
loves to get on camera. He is my good friend, and he is here right now. Rubino, how was that for you?
Feels good.
Come on, man, it's got to feel better than that. You guys are, that's your first as a team international LAN victory.
Yeah, it feels good. We played pretty well, actually. Like, we started maybe a bit rough on Dust 2, but we knew that that was one of the best maps they have, and that's not a good map for us yet. Like, we had a pretty solid CT side.
Yeah, you were 9-6 in the first half. What was the issue with closing? Well, not necessarily closing out at that point. You still got quite a bit to do, but you're in an advantageous position at that point. So why couldn't you kind of carry that on into the second half?
It's pretty hard to say. We haven't played it as much, as I said before. We really don't know how to play it, and some after plans and positioning is, like destroying our rounds, of course. But I feel like we didn't get mad or anything after that map, because we were pretty sure that they would win Dust 2, actually, because that's a good map for them. But we gave a good fight, and we could actually win it too, so it gave us more confidence coming into Mirage and Overpass, which is pretty good maps for us.
Guys, do you have any particular questions?
My only question really is, when you're against a player of Oscar's caliber, like you said before, you don't really know why you lost Dust 2. I would probably edge with Oscar. He dropped 36 kills against you guys.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Like,
How do you play around that? Do you start to highlight where he is on the map and try and play alternative routes?
of course, you're trying to avoid playing versus a so strong player. Of course, like we're smoking the Xbox to avoid getting killed in middle, but still he gets frags because he's running off everywhere, right? So you can't avoid him all the time. So sometimes he's just there getting 2 frags. So it's really hard to play against. Oscar is really strong player, and yeah, I don't know what to do actually. Like,
No, please, Nati, continue. I'll go after you.
I was wondering, how much did you guys read into what HellRaisers in general likes to do? How much did you review their playstyle going into this?
we didn't review them anything actually, because the internet on the hotel you can't watch demos, so it's really hard to actually anti-strat and such. But
So maybe the strategy for the next time you're at LAN is to bring a little dongle router with you or whatever internet, plug it in, and then you'll do even better.
I think that's a better idea. That's for sure.
Something that I'd like to ask about is the offline qualification for ESL 1 Cologne 2016, which you've now, well, you secured it when you got into top 2 here. The amount of teams that are at that tournament is absolutely insane. There are, I think it's Envious, Mouse, FaZe, some really high-level competition. You've done very well here. You've secured yourself $30,000, but by securing yourself a spot there, I mean, you've got a lot to do still. What are your initial thoughts about that?
Well, we're coming home now, going to play some officials, and we're going to practice hard for that event. We know it's going to be hard because it's pretty strong teams there, but we feel pretty confident versus some of the teams at least. So if we just practice and fix our mistakes, maybe get better on several maps, I think like we can qualify. Of course, we have like our team has been playing really well. Some upside, some downside, of course, but that's how it is. We are trying to fix everything, and hopefully this is giving us more motivation to continue.
How driven, yeah, exactly. How driven after this are you to not let what happened at the MLG qualifiers happen again?
Well, it's a relief, of course. Just qualifying from the minor to the major qualification is a huge boost for us as players and a team. And I think that will help us come to the major qualification. We just need to practice and not have the same attitude as last time. Maybe we were a bit cocky. We went to the US like 5 days before the event, didn't play because we thought like, okay, we are going to qualify to the major, and that attitude, or like, you can't think like that. That mindset was really wrong, and we have learned of it, and hopefully we're not going to do the same again.
Okay, and you feel you've corrected those mistakes, you're not going to let that happen again?
Yeah, I think we learned after that. That was like after losing the MLG qualifier, everyone was really down, and yeah, it's good to win something and get the boost up again. Any final questions from you guys? Otherwise, we'll look at the bracket. No?
I think we covered everything, really.
All right. Well, Robina, have you got any final words before we look at the bracket?
I want to thank the team Dignitas for helping us and everything like that. I want to thank everyone that is watching, the fans and such. And yeah, it was a good gift for me since I missed National Day in Norway tomorrow. So yeah, it was a good gift for me at least.
Good. Well, a good way to end your trip. Congratulations on the first place here and the qualification. Let's take a look at the bracket, how the tournament played out. First of all, we had the upper bracket game 1, HellRaisers Orbit. It was 2-0 to HellRaisers. And then the upper bracket game 2, Dignitas versus ENCE, which was also a 2-0. The lower bracket round 1 between HellRaisers and ENCE was a 2-0 in favor of HellRaisers. The upper bracket final between Dignitas and Orbit was 2-1. Close for Orbit. They just missed out on actually qualifying for the offline qualifier for ESL 1 because in the lower bracket final, they lost to HellRaisers 2-1, and then in the grand final, it was Dignitas that took out HellRaisers 2-1. It could have been a 2-0 if Dignitas had pulled through on Dust 2. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
No, it's cool to see that Dignitas playing Dust 2. Obviously, something that we've not seen previously, but like Pimp did mention before the game, now that Inferno, one of the stronger maps from Dignitas, is out of the pool. They will have to expand. They will have to think of what they want to do. And Dust 2, obviously, you know, Might be one that they want to get in there. And that was definitely a prominent performance. I think it all just fell apart in that one round where Tensky did not manage to get a kill onto Oscar, who then went on to get 2 more. And they got an afterplan situation that won. So it was just a matter of so many small details that basically won that map to HellRaisers even.
There's no doubting it was 14-14 at the time retake. That was everything. One question I wish I'd actually asked Rubino now is he was AWPing on the CT side of Dust 2. I'm curious if they do go to Dust 2, if that's going to continue to be the case.
We've just lost a light.
I guess we're getting messages to hurry up now.
Yeah.
We've I guess run out of electricity since we've been here. So if that's possible. Pimp, what do you think about Dust 2 for Dignitas? Is it a map that they could practice on and potentially bring it into their map pool proper?
Yeah, I do believe like it was a map when I played with them that we at some point were good at, but MSL don't like it. Like he doesn't like playing Dust 2, and it's down to personal preference.
You said Kierby didn't like it, doesn't like it either.
Kirby, he does. I don't know if he likes it or not,
Okay.
but he's not usually good on it. Like
Yes.
compared to some of the other maps, like you see him play Mirage or Overpass every time he steps up and plays amazingly. When Dust 2, he seems to go a bit more missing from time to time. Obviously, they can get good at Dust 2. Like as Rubino said, they have now 3 weeks to practice, and 3 weeks with full practice is a lot these days because there are so many official matches. All the teams that are participating in this major qualifier will have a lot of official matches, a lot of lands to go to before. So Dignitas have a good. If Rubino, if they're gonna go into this with a good mindset, they have a good chance of coming prepared into this major qualifier.
All right, well, we are pretty much finished. Guys, do you have any final words? We'll start with you. Metas, anything you want to say?
Just a pleasure to be here working with all you awesome people. Pimp, great job on the desk, dude.
Yeah.
Really great by Pimp.
Kudos. Yeah.
Natu.
I'm a pimp, yeah, I know. No, just thank you, everyone. Thanks, DreamHack. Thanks to, obviously, the teams for a great show. It's been a lot of close matches, obviously. Yeah, just been a good time, and that's about it.
Pimp, what about you? Have you enjoyed your time on the desk after? Unfortunately, if you've tuned in sort of like later in the weekend, you might not have realised that Pimp was actually competing with SK, but unfortunately they went out in the early stages of competition.
Not for long. Yeah, I've enjoyed like it's never fun losing, of course. I opted to come here and play this final, which we didn't. Always great to try out the desk, and I hope that whoever have been watching out there have enjoyed, and I hope you have enjoyed working with me.
Definitely.
So yeah, glad to have tried it out, and maybe there's more of this in the future if I do decide to go out of tournaments earlier.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Decide to.
I like the way he worded that.
Fair enough.
Thank you very much, Pimp, and thank you guys. Well, thank you to Helium and Launders. That is it from us here at DreamHack Tour. We have our 2 teams that have qualified for the ESL 1 offline qualifier. It is Dignitas and HellRaisers. They have also secured themselves some prize money, $30,000 to Dignitas and $15,000 to HellRaisers. A big thank you to the sponsors, of course, Alienware and Monster. It would not be possible without them to host these events. Thank you also to everyone on camera who I've been working with and DreamHack staff behind the camera too. Goodbye from us, and we will see you next time.